Level Up with Shea. It's our podcast. Also 365 Mentoring and Coaching. You can check us out there too. www.365coaching.biz. But today we're in the business of talking to Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith is a hurdler. Not only a hurdler, but an Olympic trial hurdler. Let me add that. At Davidson University. And he is going into his senior year. So we were able to spend some time with him, thankfully, out of his busy schedule, to make sure that we put him on notice to people, but also enjoy his accomplishments and let people know that we have somebody right here in the RVA that also not just made it there, but made it in college, but also Olympic trials. In 2028, we're going to look for him in LA because I need a reason to go to LA. And that's going to be my reason right there. Probably my ticket to LA, but that's going to be it right there. So, Jaden, you are getting to your senior year?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. So, Davidson has been his only school. He was at St. Christopher High School as a freshman all the way through. You came in middle school, right?
Yeah, I came into middle school and I started running track 7th grade, and then I started hurdling 9th grade.
9th grade, okay, cool. Now, with that 9th grade year, you started hurdles for the very first time?
Yeah.
Wow, so how did you get into doing hurdles versus long jump, triple jump, the 100, maybe basketball?
Yeah, so here at St. Chris, they had a policy where you had to do a sport after school.
Okay.
So when you finished your academic day, you had to do something. And if not a sport, then it means you had to lift, or you had to work on the theater crew, or work for the school paper. But they wanted all the students here to be involved in some kind of extracurricular
activity. Okay.
And so in 6th grade, actually, they had kind of like a mini track team just for 6th graders, just to introduce people to the sport. I had grown up around track because my father is a track coach. I remember he had brought me to meets here solely as a spectator. And so when I got the opportunity to actually run track, I jumped right on it, and I had a blast 6th grade. And then 7th grade, I went straight from a tiny little 6th grade team that didn't compete against any other schools to a 7th grade team that was JV, technically, because we didn't have a middle school indoor track team.
Right.
So I went straight to JV, and me being in middle school and just eager to be there, I signed up to be on everything. I signed up to do triple jump, signed up to do long jump, I signed up to do high jump, and I was also a sprinter. So I would do the 4x2 and the 300 and the 55. And I remember having a blast. I was one of the youngest people out there, but I still felt like I was a part of the team.
Yeah. I
felt like I had a space that I belonged.
Right.
I was like the track athlete for my grade, and I just really enjoyed that. And I was like falling more and more in love with the sport as I kind of evolved through high school. In 9th grade, I started doing hurdles per the recommendation of my captain, and now I'm here now.
Awesome. Getting the hint/push/nudge from one of your captains here about doing hurdles as a given for you to actually be involved. So going from middle school, learning about track, then coming to high school doing track. Fast forward, 4 years later, you now have a scholarship to go to Davidson University. Now, was Davidson your first option, second, third, or was it high up based on the team, based on academics, or what?
Well, it's so interesting when I think back on it now, because I had a very different mentality towards this sport in high school than I did now compared to in college.
Oh, okay.
In high school, I was doing this simply because, I enjoyed the people on my team, I was good at it, and I just enjoyed doing hurdles.
Yeah.
I did not have a dream school. There was no school that I looked at where I was like, I desire to be on this track team more than anything. I want to do this in college.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Chris is a very academically rigorous school, and they do a lot of stuff to prepare you for college academically.
Yeah.
So it was kind of told to me both by my family and by my school, you want to go to a good college, and I was like, I want that for myself. So when I saw Davidson, it checked a lot of my boxes. It was a good academic school. It felt like a team that was still steadily growing.
Yeah.
And there weren't a lot of sprinters at the school when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like this is an opportunity for me to kind of fill a hole, fill a spot on the team.
Wow.
And kind of fill in that niche.
That's good.
And then when I arrived, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't really do as much research as I should have.
Right.
Because I had 4 other hurdlers waiting for me to also do my event with, which is not rare. A lot of D1 colleges, they don't have a hurdle squad per se.
Right.
And this tiny little liberal arts college in North Carolina had 4 other training partners for me,
Wow,
which
that's
was
good.
really, really cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, they reached out to me my junior year spring during COVID. They were one of the few schools that reached out to me, and they just checked off all of my boxes. And I remember I was skeptical at first because I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to look into the college search
Right,
more than
yeah,
this.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like,
Research or find out what they have, and yeah.
yeah. But at the end of the day, I was like, this seems good. Small school, D1, good
Yeah.
academics, not far from home. I was like, this is it.
And let's talk about that for a second, because I also speak with students about the NCAA clearinghouse and looking at different colleges, looking at different options. And you just said you really didn't do a lot of your own research. You knew you wanted to go to school, and everybody has said, oh, you should do hurdles or you should go to college. But now that it was actually right there on your list for you to go, but now that you're there, you are pleasantly surprised in how it's going. So to speak to some young people, because as I talk to kids in the NCAA clearinghouse, you know, everybody wants to go D1. Everybody, you know, I'm D1, football, basketball, whatever, or D2, you know. They may not look at a D3 school, or they may not look at a small school like yourself. So your school is about 2,000 students. So it's D1, but it's small. And what other person in the NBA went to your school?
Oh, you mean Steph Curry?
Steph Curry, right. So, I mean, there's good things that has happened at Davidson, in
Yeah.
case you all didn't know that. So moving on from that. So even though it's a small school, there's an opportunity for you to flourish, because look where Steph Curry is right now in the NBA. Like, he's a vibrant player. Like, he is the man. Step back three in your face guy, right? So you're going to a small school. So students should also know that it's not actually all the time the school that you're at, but what you're making out of that school. Because as we fast forward, you being at a small school, people are waiting on you. You've actually every year ended your season ranked somewhere, going to another group of track, leading somewhere, and you also last year participated on the national team, U23 national team, right?
Yeah.
So you had to make that.
Yeah.
So you not only got yourself there into school, but you actually have progressed every year. So what are just 3 of your biggest accomplishments you could say would be your biggest accomplishments being at Davidson with track?
Let's see, my 3 biggest accomplishments. I think my biggest accomplishment, or one of my biggest accomplishments, firstly, would probably be Olympic trials a month
Olympic
ago.
trials, right? And that's 2024, the Olympic trials, right?
2024
Okay.
Olympic
So see, we have
trials.
Olympian right here, as I said previously. Okay, proceed.
I remember I went there and I was saying to myself, like, my only goal is just to get a personal best
Okay.
and to represent my school as best as I can on
Right,
a national
right.
stage.
Good, good.
And I did pretty much exactly that. And I
Wow.
was super proud of myself afterwards. I had just finished running at NCAA championships, I think 2 weeks beforehand,
Wow.
where I got 15th place, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad, but
Right.
you know, you always kind of aim for better.
Better, yeah.
So Olympic trials was kind of my like, you know, this is your last chance, like, and let's end it on a good note
Yeah,
type of race.
yeah, yeah.
And it was exactly that. So that's my first one.
Wow.
I think my second biggest accomplishment would probably be my freshman year. This was like, in my opinion, this was kind of like the inflection point. This is where everything kind of like turned on its head for me.
Oh, okay.
Like, most of my freshman year, I was good at hurdles,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like getting into the groove of things, and I
Yeah.
was happy with my progression. But I remember it was a South Carolina meet. It was at the University of South Carolina, and I was in the lane directly next to a hurdler at the University of South Carolina.
Wow.
And that was like one of my first times racing an SEC hurdler.
Yeah.
And I remember I was super nervous. I was a freshman, and I had only just broken 14 seconds in the 110 hurdles. Like, I think in the prelims I went 13:99, which was a big PR for me because I
Yeah.
had never gone sub 14 before. And then in the final of that race, I like locked in, and I was telling myself, like, you deserve to be here, you can
Yeah,
do this, just
yeah.
focus on your own lane,
Yeah.
just put as much power as you can into the ground.
Yeah.
And I remember I ran with everything I could, and when I crossed the line, the clock read 13:54, which was like
Wow.
a number 6 time in the nation as a
Oh,
freshman.
wow.
And I remember my entire team like came onto the field and was like, what just happened?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
What did you do? Like, I remember
Yeah.
I was sitting there in shock. I was like, I genuinely can't believe what just happened.
Yeah,
And
wow.
from that point on, I was like,
Were you locked in after that? Like, I know I can do this. I belong here.
after that point, that
Yeah.
was like the moment where I said to myself, like, I have a real shot at this.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, this
that's
is
good.
like the trajectory that a lot of professionals kind of were on when they first started in college.
Got you. Yeah.
So if I can keep this up,
Yeah.
I think I got a real shot
Yeah.
at, you know, making
Yeah.
it big and
Yeah.
doing this professionally.
And what would be your third greatest achievement?
My third greatest achievement, I think, if there's anything that I like more than, you know, a successful race for myself, it's moreover a successful race for my team.
Oh, okay.
So I remember at the Atlantic 10 conference my freshman year of outdoors, it was a rainy day at VCU, and the hurdle finals were, I think, 3 VCU hurdlers and then all 4 Davidson hurdlers.
Oh, wow.
And we had the mentality of, we're going to go first place or fourth place.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to do that. That is our goal. We can do it. And when the gun goes off, like, I watch the video back all the time, and it's like all of us are like hurling together. Like, we were all in the lanes directly next to each other, and we all crossed the line, like 1 through 4.
Really? Oh, wow. So left VCU back there, basically.
Basically, every single VCU hurdler was beat by all the Davidson hurdlers. It was.
So the 4 best won.
The 4 best won.
And you were in the 4 because you're the best. Like duh. Like what they think. So as you think about hurdling, you think about your success, you think about your dad running track at the Virginia State University. Want to throw that in there. And then being a track coach. So it's kind of in you, right? The genes in you. And you're a big guy, and you've been this big since you were probably about 12. So that's a good thing. And, you know, so people may not understand what actually goes into a hurdler and the practice that you dedicate your time to. So on a typical day practice, what are 3 things you have to do every day just because you are a hurdler?
As a hurdler,
every day you got to do this.
Every day. Every day I have to do a full, like, thorough warm-up. So I like to jump rope before I do my warm-ups. And then I have, like, several different exercises. We have hurdle drills, and that usually takes upwards of, like, roughly like 45 minutes to almost an hour to get through. So
you're warming up for an hour.
Yeah.
We got people that don't want to warm up for 10 minutes. They want to just go out there and play, just go out there and do what they got to do. But you actually, because if you're going on that hurdler and you're dragging that leg, you got to make sure you can get it to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
Hurdling is all about mobility, and so you want to make absolutely sure that everything is moving the way it's supposed to, and that warm-up makes sure that everything is moving the way it's supposed to.
Right.
And it also lets you know of any pains or any problems that might arise during your session.
Okay.
This one's kind of obvious, but as a hurdler, I like to drink a lot of water. You know, I think that's like just super important.
Yeah. Stay hydrated, yeah.
Yeah, hurdling is a lot of like starting and stopping.
Yeah.
It's like you do 1 rep, you come back, do another rep, do another rep, do another rep, over and over. And although it's a very technical event, it starts to burn you out. Like, it is really a workout. And so I have to have water on me to make sure I'm able to keep going. And then another thing that I do every single day, I mean, I guess I could just talk about, first I have to do block starts. So when it comes to hurdles, it's not like a 100 block start where you have to get out as fast as you can.
Right.
There's like a certain number of steps that you need to take, and you also have to set yourself upright for the first hurdle.
Okay.
When you get to the first hurdle, it's a straight rhythm.
So how many steps I need out the hurdle? Like if I'm in the blocks, what I got to do?
So.
Show me.
So for the first like 2 years.
Get in the blocks. Okay.
So. Me personally, I got long legs.
Of course you do.
I like to put that leg really far back there.
And then?
So you get like this.
Okay.
Set yourself upright. Make sure your hands are along the line. And then when you lift up your butt, you don't want to do it super duper high. You kind of want to get it nice and horizontal so that when you get out, it's like.
Okay.
Like a rocket almost.
Yeah.
Like you want to shoot out horizontally.
Right. Got you.
And then the first 2 years of college, I took 8 steps to the first hurdle.
Okay.
So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then boom, I'm over.
Right.
This past year, my junior year, my coach was like, all right, we're going to take out a step. We're going to do 7 steps to the first hurdle, which means I have to put in more force.
When you come out the block. Okay, got you.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got to really like boom, 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 work my way up there.
Yeah.
But also maintain control so that way I'm able to set myself upright for the hurdle. You know what I mean?
Now, are you counting these in your head, or you just kind of know by, like, you know, where I'm at, where I'm located, where the hurdle is at, or how do you know those steps? Count in your head? Because when our people are hurdling, I do this. 1, 2, 3, boom, they go 1. 1, 2, 3, ta. 1, 2, 3, ta. 1, 2, 3, ta. So I look at it and I'm counting for you all. But I'm assuming, are you counting or you just kind of know?
Yeah.
Or you just kind of have that rhythm?
I've been doing this sport for so long that at this point it's become like muscle memory.
Muscle memory, yeah.
So when I hurdle, it's like I naturally know, my body naturally knows that I'm supposed to take 3 steps in between the hurdle. And because I have that muscle memory locked down,
Yeah.
I'm able to make tiny little adjustments to make
Yeah.
my running faster.
Yeah.
So like I can, in a race, I can put my feet down faster. So, those
Okay,
three
show
steps.
me how to do that.
So like, let's say you just come off a hurdle.
Yeah.
You want to like, pa, 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 before you get to the next hurdle. You don't want to like 1, 2, 3, pa, and get your leg up.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your legs are nice and quick and fast.
Yeah.
So that way you give yourself space.
Yeah.
A big thing about hurdles is spacing, because
Spacing, okay.
you don't want to run up on a hurdle and you're like right here and
Yeah.
the hurdle's right here.
Yeah.
Because you don't have
Enough room.
any space to get yourself over.
Got
You want
you.
to take off from a hurdle like from like back here. So
Yeah.
that way when you get that leg over,
Boom.
you like go
Ooh.
straight through it.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I think I did it.
It's crazy. Like during practice, my coach he'll like take a shoe or a cone and he'll put it like a smooth, like several feet away from
Yeah.
the hurdle. And he's like, you need to take off from this cone. So like
Okay.
between the cone and the hurdle, your feet should not be on the ground. You should be midair. And when you're seeing it while you're stationary, you're like, there's absolutely no way you can
That you're
clear
gonna get there, yeah.
And then you run and it's like, you have to trust yourself and then
Yeah.
you end up making it through. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm moving faster than I think.
But you got to put full force in there. You can't be lazy, because some of these athletes are really, really lazy.
Mhm.
You know, like real lazy, but they want to go to college. You
Right.
can't be lazy and go to college at the same time.
You can't be lazy, and you also can't be afraid of it, Like,
Yeah.
there have been many times where I've gone over the hurdle and I've fallen over,
Yeah.
but if you go over the hurdles with fear, you're not going to go fast as like you want. Like,
Gotcha.
you have to have it in your mind, like, I'm going to win, and
Yeah.
I'm going to knock over as many hurdles as needed in order to do that.
Yeah. Now, you are what's your major in college?
I'm an environmental science major
Okay.
and a Spanish minor.
Okay, Spanish. So we can do a little Spanish. We're not going to talk Spanish right now because we don't want everybody to know what we know how to do. So we're not going to do that today. But environmental science, so you want to actually work in that when you get out of college. So sometimes people have a major, but they don't really want to do that once they get out there. But you actually want to do that. But before we get into you wanting to do that,
Mhm.
and as we're about to wrap up a little bit, you actually want to get into NIL deals, right?
Yes.
So you're looking for that. Notice we said looking for that. So as we're looking for that, come back a little bit. As we're looking for that, we want to put you on notice that you are an athlete. You are an accomplished athlete. Yes, you are at a small school, but you've also gone to the Olympic trials as well. So are you looking for NIL deals in clothing, in shoes, in advertisement? What do you want? What do you think is your biggest market you want to target? Or what do you think you want to work with? Or who you want to work with, probably?
I mean, I'm open to pretty much everything. I remember
Yeah.
I talked to my trainers before about
Yeah.
NIL deals, so
Yeah.
I know that there are other athletes that have been on my team who've had NIL deals.
Yeah.
I remember one of them, they did like something with some special kind of like gel that you could take before, you warm up for practice.
Yeah, okay, so you're open to a lot of things.
I'm open to a lot of
Okay,
things.
got
Like
you,
I
got
feel
you.
like I'm down to not only like partner with different brands and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but I'm also open to try anything that is sent to me. Like I feel like, especially going into my senior year,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to really kind of like make use of my status as an
Yeah,
athlete and also
yeah.
grow as an athlete and build new habits for
yeah,
myself.
okay.
And I feel like this could be a good way for me to do that.
And then segue into that, we can also not only look at the NIL deals as a business option, but also training young people in hurdles, because you are good, you are accomplished. You really came from not really doing it, teaching yourself, learning, actually over time, repetition, to now being in college, to now going to Olympic trials, but also now looking at marketing yourself, but also in a business manner as well. So you're able to, and you will start after you graduate, start giving lessons, hopefully, yes, on hurdlers, because you can accomplish that. You already taught me how to do a little bit of it, getting my leg together over that. But I think that you are an accomplished young man and you can do more. But you're also an humble young man as well. But we want to get some of that fire out of you that you have on the field. And also making sure that you are not only promoting yourself, but also you're promoting your school, as you said, because your school really has helped you be the young man that you are, but it's also ingrained in you that you have that as well. And then you have your family backing you.
Of course, of course.
Your mom, your dad backing you, to making sure that you are that young man that you need to be. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us, little nephew. But you aren't little, but you're a big guy. So if someone wants to know what that body looks like under that shirt, show them all that. Show them all that. I mean, because you got all that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Like, I can't do it because I'm on camera. But Rob, yeah, like you know, one more.
Oh my God.
But yes, so you got to stay in shape, drink that water, but you also, like, do you lift?
Yeah.
You lift, right?
Yeah, a big part of track and field is lifting.
Yeah.
You need to get your muscles right.
Right, and some kids don't know that. They think I can just walk out here, just do whatever I want to do on the weekends and still look good. But you got to be training all the time to be the best person that you can be, correct? Okay, so again, we're here with Jaden Smith. He's at Davidson University, top hurdler in his own right. He's already broken records. Didn't you break some records at Davidson as well?
Yeah, broken a couple hurdle records, yes.
Yeah, so we are record breaker. He's also NIL deal looker. He will get one. And also he will start training young people in hurdles. Once he finishes college, we want him to get that degree, want him to finish first because we know that good things are ahead for him. And 2028, we're going to hope to see him in LA because again, his aunt needs to go to LA. So we're hoping that he's going to actually make that debut there in hurdles. And so your specialty in hurdles is what, the 110?
The 110 hurdles.
Okay, do you do 300?
I used to do 300 hurdles in high school. I got to college and it switched to 400 hurdles, and we already had like 3 400 hurdlers when I came.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we just want you to kind of focus on 110s.
Okay.
And me just focusing on 110s has helped my game get so much better.
Really?
So,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
a very
good.
specified athlete, but
Very good.
happy to represent Davidson College, do the best I can, and, you know, just get better at my craft.
All right, last thing. 2 things you would tell any high school athlete if they want to go to college. What is 2 pieces of advice you would give them? Leaving high school, going to college, being an athlete, true athlete, what would you give them? 2 pieces of advice.
Don't compare yourself.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
I think track is a sport that it is very easy to look at someone else's time and think to yourself like,
Yeah.
oh, why am I not there? Why can't I be like them? I'm training hard and it's just not clicking yet.
Yeah.
I promise you, you will do nothing but stress yourself out.
Yeah.
The best way to kind of go about running in college is to focus on your own journey and just focus on getting your job done.
Yeah.
Because you have people that bloom at different times, you
Yeah.
have people that are overcoming injury, but every single year, every single month, every single meet is different than the last. So as long as you follow your path and
Yeah.
just trust in your training, you will get to where you want to be. And the second thing I'd want to say is make sure that you remember why you're at the program. I feel like a
Okay.
lot of people come to college and it's very easy to kind of get swept up in the culture of everything, kind of get swept up in team dynamics, the dynamics of the school,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
going to this party,
Yeah.
doing this. You're still allowed to live, you're still allowed
Yeah.
to have fun. But at the end of the day, if you really want to like kind of like blow up and get to that point you want to in track, you got to have a level of discipline. And I think it's important to have that discipline kind of like laid out first, foundation wise,
Yeah.
before you start getting into your journey.
And that's important because a lot of young people don't realize that. So again, young people, we got somebody right here, RVA, Brad. He was at St. Christopher, high school. Now he's at Davidson University, looking for bigger and better things. But also, if you are a student athlete looking to go to college, you got to remember, as he just said, it's your journey. Your journey is your own journey. You can't compare yourself to somebody else, but also stay focused at the reason why you're there at that college, not just to party and have a good time, but you're there to learn as well and get out in 4, hopefully, maybe 5, but don't be on that 6, 7-year program. So, Level Up Podcast, Level Up with Shea, Davidson right here on staff.